Hello, my name is John. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create an attractive button by using Construct 2. I'm going to go to File, New Project, and select New Empty Project. I'm going to create a new layout. I'm going to right-click on the Layout folder and create a new layout. Add New Layout, but don't add an event seed. So I'm going to right-click on my Layout 1 and rename it. I'm going to call this Main Menu. I'm going to right-click, rename my Layout 2 as Level 1. Now, if you rename the first layer as Level 1 and the second layer Main Menu, don't worry about this. You can change the order that you want to display first by clicking on the gray area. Go to the Properties, Project Properties, View, and then First Layout. You can drop down the list and select the layout that you want to display first. Anyway, so I'm going to go back here now. I'm going to right-click, Insert New Object, and I'm going to add a mouse object. Click Insert. I'm going to double-click on my main menu now. I'm going to right-click, Insert New Object, and this time I'm going to select Text. I'm going to type TXT info and click Insert. I'm going to click here once. I'm going to change the text value to read Main Menu. I'm going to double click on the Level 1 and I'm going to click and drag the TXT information, and then I'm going to change the value to read Level 1. Okay, so I've got my main menu now and I've got my Level 1. Now, excuse me, if I double click on my main menu and right click and select Insert New Object, I'm going to select Sprite Object and I'm going to call this BTN, short for button, go to Level 1. I'm going to click Insert and click anywhere on my stage. I'm going to create my fancy button, or I'm going to import the fancy button from the internet. And I'm going to crop it. Then I'm going to go to Animation, select Duplicate. With the frame number 1 selected, I'm going to use the fill color, change the color slightly. So frame number 0 is green. Frame number 1 is different color. I'm going to exit. Now I'm going to double click again to go back to the object so I can see on the properties the speed value. I'm going to change the speed value to 0 and I'm going to also change the repeat count to 0. Click Exit. Now I'm going to right click and select Insert New Object. This time I'm going to select the text object again and I'm going to call it TXT Start Game. Click Insert. Click here and place the text field on top of your button. I'm going to change the value to Start Game. And if the text is not displayed fully, just increase the width a little bit. So I'm going to hold the Control key down on my keyboard and use the wheel on my mouse just to zoom in a little bit. Okay. So this is my fancy button and this is the label. I'm going to now select the event seed. I'm going to click an event. I'm going to select the mouse, click Next. I'm going to select the cursor is over object, click Next. Select the object, in this case is my button, click Next and click Done. Now I'm going to click now Add Action. The action is on my button Go to Level 1. Click Next. The action is Set Frame. Click Next. And the frame I want to navigate to is frame number 1. Click Done. Now, if I test my game now, if I hover over, it goes to purple. But if I remove my mouse cursor away from the button, nothing happens. This is because I have not give instructions. I'm going to go back to the actions and I'm going to put a system action. Double click on system action. I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom select wait, click next, and change the value to 0.2. Click done. Now I'm going to put another action. It's going to be the btn go to level 1 action, and I'm going to set the frame to 0. So basically, when somebody hovers over with the mouse, it's going to go to frame number 1, 0.2 second delay, it will go back to 0.2. Now this delay will happen once I move the mouse away from the object. Let's test that. So I'm going to go back here. Now if I hover over, that's okay. So I don't have the delay now. The delay has not kicked in yet. So if I hover away my mouse the button, in 0.2 seconds it goes back to the original color. So this is frame 1, this is frame 0. Frame 1, frame 0. So now what we need to do is add another event, which basically will add a new event which will use the mouse click event. So I'm going to select add an event, a mouse event, but this time I'm not going to use the cursor is over object. I'm going to use the on click event. I'm going to click, say the left click, that's okay, done. Next I need to add an action, and the action is a system action, and I want the person to navigate to the go to level. I'm going to navigate the person to level 1. Click done. Now the problem I've got is the click event here. If I test it, if I hover over, okay, but if I click here anywhere else but from the button or within the button area, it doesn't really matter where I have my mouse cursor. If I click, it will take me to level 1. To ensure that I only click on the button in order to go to level 1, what I will need to do is highlight, click on the little green arrow here, make sure you highlight the full action, the full event, the whole event, and then I want you to click and drag, but as you're dragging this on the gray area, you're dragging a little bit to the right. As you can see, the black line becomes like a little 2 arrows pointing up and down that way on this side. When you see these arrows changing, so when you see the straight line becomes with 2 extra lines, additional lines, then and only then release the mouse cursor. This means now this action applied within the same event. I'm going to click run now. Go back here. Now if I hover over, that's okay. If I click anywhere else, that's okay, nothing happens. But if I hover over and click here, it takes me to the level 1. And this is how you create an interactive button by using Construct 2 and by using actions to control this button. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next tutorial. Bye.